talking to Dave and Dan, and hopefully, I know I got some really good things. So, Dan, thank you very much. Dave, thank you.
Yep,
And
I'll
Dave, I'm
pause
going to let
myself.
your
Looking forward to it.
yeah. In fact, gentlemen, if you don't mind, I'll leave your mics open, and if you do have anything to add, because, like I said, Roger will not be with us tonight. He's traveling, and so I'm going to be alone, and I'll do my best here. I've got some things that I hope will be of use to you, or at least something that you can then follow up on, because there's some really good things out there, and might be able to get some things out. And if you have any questions or concerns, please. It might be easier tonight to raise your hand because I can't get over to that question box quite as often as when there are two of us. So with that, it's 8 o'clock. Good evening and welcome to February. And I think we're halfway through winter just about. This is the Sunday night webinar. This is number 204. I'm Gene Colbego, and as I said before, Roger will be joining us, I believe, next Sunday. And I do know that I think you have the following Monday off next week. So if you're not doing anything, please join us. But if you'll give me a second to get organized here. Again, this does cause me to have to do, okay, I got to end my show here so everybody can see. Okay, now I've got a, I hope I have everything here. Okay, first of all, just a couple of things. Something that's been going on, and it kind of ties in with a tool that Roger has kind of introduced and pushed for us, and which I have become a firm believer in. We've been talking about, this is our school district website, and on the Teacher Resource Center, it's under the staff, the Teacher Resource Center. We have been building over the past couple of years a site that has ideas, articles, resources that you can use to build your professional learning, hopefully. And what we try to do is pick ones that are simple, easy to read, quick in a couple of minutes. They're not long, and of general interest for you. Okay, so we have been using something up until now called Flipboard, which is a really good curating place. And I think Roger and I had talked one time, we had accumulated more than 200 Flipboards among the two of us. And what we're doing now is this. On this site, we did have some Flipboards with general articles and resources and tools, and I think we had 2 of them. But now what we're trying to do is change them over into something that is a lot simpler, and is if you've been joining us, you've certainly heard the word Wakelets. And this is a super simple tool for collecting resources, tools, whatever, things that you run into on the internet that you might want to remember for later. What we did here is I started taking the articles that were in the Flipboards and sorting them into the various Wakelets, okay? And this is what we have so far, and would hope that maybe if you have some time, take a look at some of them. We're trying to sort them into various things. We have a lot of great articles dealing with classroom management, tips for teaching, building teacher-student relationships, building family relationships. See, these are more specific groups than before. Here's some great sites that Roger and I talk about subscribing to some of these sites that have articles and tools and so forth that that you might benefit from, and that would be, feel free to take a look there. You might find some things that you could be very interested in. You get some very good beneficial uh, sites from that. There's another one, tools and posters. Not all of these are filled up or whatever yet. We're just starting to get there. And we have this. We're going to get some more on assessments. I just ran into a few that I'll be putting up in the next day or two. And these, it was kind of a catch-all. Apps and resources for specific grades and subjects. That's pretty generic. And then, of course, down at the bottom, we had to have one for technology. So please go there and take a look. In fact, what we recommend is, and I did this before, if you've never had a Wakelet, all you have to do is go to wakelet.com. I'm signed in already, but it'll say, okay, sign in for free. And then that's all it is. Create a new collection. You put a little click there, you put a name, and you can start creating collections, folders, whatever you want to call them, and you can start saving resources. What you may want to do, and we're going to be talking about this a little bit more later, is to add an extension. And I'll be talking about extensions in just a few minutes. Okay, so if you're not familiar with what some of the, I've got a number of extensions here. What extensions are, we'll help you with those and kind of give you some idea of what's going on there. But we do recommend, if you're going to collect things and save things, bookmarks are great, but these are so much easier. Okay, just to show you how that works. I don't know where we're going here. Okay, make your own post. We're going to look at this later. But if I say, oh, I want to save that, you basically click on this. It's a little extension. It says, okay, which of those folders that you have do you want to put it in? Or you can create a new folder if you want, and then put it right into the folder. I'll put it right there. And notice it's been saved to that collection. That's how easy it is to save things. So I don't want to close that. Okay, Wakelets, just a real quick review of them and another little recommendation that if you've not tried Wakelets, and if you have any questions or concerns about them, put that in your survey or send an email or something, and we'll be glad to help you out with them. They're pretty easy. Now, what I'd like to discuss, I think we've been talking about, mentioned it a couple times on the email I sent out this week, is this. Microsoft, let me just you'll notice I am using Chrome right now, but Microsoft has come out with a new version of Edge. It's called Edge Chromium. Microsoft Chrome, or Microsoft Edge Chromium, and then you have Google Chrome. All right, they're both based on, from what I understand, is open source some open source software. So they're very, very starting to become similar. But Microsoft is adding some things that they have from their Office 365 resources that makes it a little bit better. And from what I've seen and read so far, this is going to be a browser, and it's going to take a little time, that is going to be well worth having. You'll notice if you look over here, I only have 3 or 4 browsers here now, but I have a lot of browsers. I use Chrome the most, but I am becoming very, very impressed at first with Chrome, Edge Chromium. Now, how do you get it? Well, it's free, of course. What I recommend, whatever you do, I went to Google and I typed in download Edge Chromium. The only thing that you have to watch out for among the 196 oh my God, 196 million results I got in a half a second or so, is that you go to a Microsoft.com site to download it. Okay, don't go to The Verge or other places. Okay, make sure that it's coming straight from Microsoft, just in case. Okay, and if you click here, wow, get the new Edge now. You click it. I'm not going to go through the whole process with you, but it's so simple. It'll take about 2 minutes to install. Then, once it is installed, let me just open it up. Let me show you a couple of things, both good and things that I think need to be worked on about Microsoft Edge, the new Edge. Okay, first of all, the page, the opening page. I am not very happy with the one that they throw up there. You may end up going to some weird place like Google or some other place. And you'll say, I don't want that. How do I change that? Well, up here we have our three little dots, and those are our settings. And this is a place that you will probably become familiar with. Okay? All right. The first thing that you are going to want to do is this. When you open Edge the first time, quite probably it will ask you if you want to import your browser data from another browser. By that I mean it will automatically bring in, let me just click on here. I have here, I hope you can see it, from Google Chrome, the one I have on my computer. It's my profile. It'll bring all of these things in, including, if I'm running it, the open tabs. And all I have to do is hit import. And you'll notice that across the top, I have a number of bookmarks that I find useful. It automatically put them there. Here's my other favorites. See, I've been, you'll see that it has a number of them because I've been playing with this a number of times today for practicing for tonight. I'm got to go in and remove a lot of them, but it brings in all of your favorites. That's kind of cool. So easy. And what you want to do here also, notice it says sync is on. That means if you have several computers and you install Edge on each of them, they will sync to each other. That means if you save a favorite or a bookmark on one, it will be automatically saved on the other's Edge as well. So you want to do that. But import browser data. Now let's get back to that opening page, which I didn't care for. Right over here on Startup, you can click here. What I recommend is, excuse me, down here, open a specific page or pages on Startup, and I put in Google, okay? And so that's pretty good. I like that because that's my Startup. You can put in anything you want. If you want to put in this, the school district website or MSN or something like that, your favorite sports, doesn't matter. You can do that. Now we run into something I don't particularly care for. Notice this. This is the new tab. New tabs are very, how shall I put it, limited. You cannot put just anything in the new tab yet. And this is one of the, again, faults, or I think weaknesses, because if you go here and notice it says new tab page, okay, oh, I gotta disable that first. Oh, I'm sorry. It will allow you to put in 2 or 3 new tabs. Okay, this is one of them, but it has a search engine here. If you'll look at it, this is strange. Finally, huh? Excuse me one second. This has changed, and I don't know why. I have spent 2 hours trying to get it. Huh. That is strange. And the reason I keep saying that, I'm kind of, you could not change this search engine from Bing to Google, but now it did it, and I don't know why it did. All week it's been Bing here. I'm glad. So maybe you just have to change the search engine. How do you change the specific search engine in Chromium? They made that difficult too. They want you to use Microsoft. Okay, now what you need to do, if it's Bing and you want Google, you have to go over here to the settings. You need to go, and you can find this online. Privacy and services, believe it or not. Now, here's one good thing that you may want to note about Edge. It is knocking down on tracking. You can set the tracking level, and from what I have read, the balanced one is the one that seems to be recommended. It will block trackers from sites you haven't visited and things like that. It'll be a lot less likely for people to track track information from you. Okay, there will be a few sites that will may not work, and this one says they will, but I've read somewhere where there may be a site or two that doesn't work as expected. You can set it at strict, but it's going to be a lot more difficult, and there may be some sites that may not work under this strict. It will protect you a little bit more. Okay, and they do recommend that when you are browsing, say in private or incognito, if you are using Google, that you do use the strict here. Okay, now getting back to where we were before, we were trying to find how to change search engines. We have to go over to privacy and services for some silly reason. We have to go all the way down here to address bar. I don't know why they put it here. And now show me search. And okay, we want that turned on. But search engine used in the address bar, and this is the one you want, Google. Okay, you can manage your search engines here. Okay, and this is, of course, they want you to use Bing, but we don't want to do. I don't want to do that. I think most of us want Google. So you want to do that. It's a little weird searching. Okay, so you're saying, okay, you haven't convinced me to do this yet. Okay, now one of the nice things that you can do is to add extensions. Let me go back a moment now to my Google. As I mentioned before, I have a number of extensions up here. What these are little tools that are built right into the Google browser that you can use. And some of them are very, very useful. You have to put them in. They're not put there, they're not there automatically. Okay? For example, this is LastPass. And if you don't have LastPass, let me go here and go to notice how my username and my password are filled in. LastPass is a site that saves all your passwords out in the cloud. They tell me it's very protected, and in the 4 or 5 years that I've used it, I have never seen anybody break into them. So your passwords are relatively safe. And that when you go to the site, it automatically fills in the information for you. So if you're interested, that's a cool little extension. These are things that you add on. You'll notice also I have OneNote. If I want to save something to OneNote, I could just use this as an extension. Here's my Wakelet, as we showed you before. Office Online as an extension. If you click on that and you're signed in, it will take you to your online office. This is a cool little extension, just real quickly. If I'm looking for a book, all right, online, you know, if you're at Amazon Books or something and say you're looking on a book for George Washington or something, and you're looking at this certain book, this app, extension, excuse me, will pop up a little note over here and tell me if it's available in my local library or digitally in my library. Okay, so anyhow, these are extensions. How do you get them? Well, first of all, let me just get into here. It is you go to the Chrome Web Store. And if you don't know this web address up here, just go to Google and type in Chrome Web Store. And these are some of the extensions that you can add. I saw one today that I played with. Oh my golly, I did take it off. Custom cursor. You can put cursors, you know, the little arrow here. You can put all kinds of different, change it to all kinds of different little things while you're on your websites. And it's kind of cool. The one I was looking for, apparently they have changed it already. There's another one, guys. Oh, I shouldn't tell you about this, but I will. This is for the sports fan in you. It's called 365 Scores. If you're a person who loves 365 Scores, this you can put on. You can adjust it to get all your scores immediately. Okay, it's pretty cool. I had it on for a while and I kind of liked it. But anyhow, just thought I'd throw that out as a little thing for you. But anyhow, these extensions are really great. Now, notice I'm using Chrome. One nice thing about Edge, let me get down here and open my Edge again, is that you can also use them. Okay, let's see if we can get there now. Okay. Notice it says you can now add extensions from the Chrome Web Store to Microsoft Edge. Those same extensions that I put onto my Google Chrome, I can put on, and this is the same store, on my Edge. Okay. Now, there are a lot of good things, and I do recommend that you do. See, now this is the Office one. Okay, let's just see. And all you got to do is this, and in a few seconds, it should, there it is. It pops up here. Now, I'll probably have to sign in to be able to use it, but okay, yeah, see, it wants me to sign in with my school address and so forth. But if it's a quick way to get into your Office account, Office Online, your Office 365. But that's how easy these apps work, okay? And there's one other one I want to show you in just a minute, okay? Now, why have I, well, oh, I see. Okay, now let me do this. I'm going to get a new one. This amazes me. For all week I've been wondering why I can't get that to change, and now it changed. Okay. I just want to get to the news place. Okay, I just want to go here And I have no idea. I'm just going to grab an article that to show you some of the benefits that you might want to, okay. Boy, I'm trying to find an article that I don't want any. Okay, Spike, let's do this. Okay. This is just an article that if you had an article that you either wish to share with your students or print out, you can have all of this. Notice LastPass. Knew I've been messing with it. If you want to print this out, it would be somewhat difficult because if you went up here and you went to print, you're going to probably get, if I can get it, there. Notice I'm getting a lot of those, and it says, oh my goodness, I don't remember how many pages there are here, but there are a number of pages. See? And you're getting all the ad. You don't want that. You just want the article. Okay? So I'm going to cancel that. Let me show you one of the nice things about Edge. Raj has been talking about something called the immersive reader. How long, how many times, built into many of the tools in Office 365. It's also built into Edge, the new Edge, and it's very easily accessible. There it is right there. Enter Immersive Reader. Look at the now, okay? This makes it a lot easier, okay? And if you wanted to print it now, it would look a lot easier. You don't have all the ads and so forth. So that's kind of cool. Also, if we're in the immersive reader and you may have to move the mouse up here. There is there are the usual tools. The read aloud, where it's starting to read mine, but it will read that. You have voice options, of course, where you can change the voice. Oh my goodness, you can actually change it to different languages now, so forth and so on. If you'll take a look there, if you have, let me just move something out of the way here. I have my control thing here. If you have people, maybe students from other countries, I don't know if there's, here is a Spanish speaking, okay? So it would be spoken in Spanish, okay? It is reading to me in Spanish, okay? So if you have students who are ESL students or something like that. Also, you can, just going to close that off. You have the usual text preferences where you can make the text size and the color, the background, and so forth that Roger has shown you before, so I'm not going to go into that. But that's good. Now, what if you wanted to print this out, but maybe you don't need something at the bottom. See this stuff at the bottom? You don't want that. Well, this is where another extension comes in that I added to Edge. This is one called Print Friendly and PDF. You can add this to Chrome as well. This is from the Chrome store. Okay, remember that store? You can get it from there. Now, what's cool about this? Let's see if I can get in. Where am I here? I got to go back here. Okay, click on this. Why am I not doing anything? Okay, yeah. Why don't I look like an, oh, maybe I have to, no. Why is it not working? This is very strange. Well, yeah, this technology for us. Uh, that is strange. I don't know why. Let me just refresh this and see what happens. I did this 3 or 4 times to make sure that it works. Okay, that's just the review of it, and I don't care about that. What I'm going to have to fix this and show you how to do this. What this will allow you to do, this print friendly, you can eliminate parts you don't want. You can make the pictures smaller. You can make the print bigger. If it would only work. Okay, now I'm not sure if that's going to, yeah, okay. All right, well, this is how it works. All right, okay, what it did, hey, oh, look at that. It did take I see what happened. You don't need to do this in the immersive reader. Notice now in here, the print friendly is working. You can go down here, highlight some stuff, delete it, okay? Notice, okay, my mouse isn't working real well, but what's also nice is you can make the text maybe bigger for students, okay? You can go up to, I think 130 is the biggest, or if you want to save paper, you can make it smaller, okay? The picture, I think it's too big. There, we can make it smaller. Still have a picture. And if you want, you can delete the picture. There's an undo as well. That's a pretty good little app. It's called Print Friendly and PDF. And if you want now, you can then print it, or you can save it as a PDF. It's weird. It opens up into their website. I have to tell you this. And then it will allow you to download it in just a few seconds. Okay? And that's how, that's another pretty decent little extension that you can add in. Now, wow, Edge Chromium is not probably the wonderful thing for everybody right now, but they're making steps. And right now, I kind of compared it with the previous Microsoft Edge, and I think they've made a lot of good progress, and there are a lot of changes coming that they've promised. We'll have to wait and see about that, but it is a really good thing. You might want to check it out. Right now, I don't think you can put it on your school laptop, as Dave was saying before, because we don't have the administrative rights. But you might want to try it at home, and if you don't like it, you can uninstall it very, very easily. I've done it about 5 or 6 times, trying to work with it. And again, I have all the extensions and so forth. It's a really good little browser, and I'm adding it to my collection of browsers. I think I have 7 or 8 of them now. So I kind of like that very much. Okay, so that's kind of a good thing to do. Now, I'm going to change course here a little bit. For some weeks, we've been talking about a program called TED Ed. Okay, and this is kind of an interesting little easy program that you can use for your students. And I think that students on most levels would be able to use it and like it. Take a look and see what you think. First of all, TED Ed comes from a place called TED. And if you've never been to TED, you're missing out, right? I think Dave, you're a big proponent, right? Of TED. Anyhow, TED stands for Technology entertainment and design. And basically, what it is, it's a speaker series that began, I believe, in 1984. And they would invite speakers to come in, and they were, I guess the original outline was they were to speak up to 18 minutes on their particular topic. And right now it's become so popular that they're obvious. I think they're probably sold out already for this coming year. They sell out immediately. It started in California, and I'm not sure exactly where. I believe it was, no, I'm not going to even say. But they have had other ones throughout the country, and I believe in Buffalo they have a version of a TED uh, speaker series every now and then. I know Raj and Dave were talking about it just some time ago. What you might want to do, first of all, for TED is they have great talks, great ideas, and recommend that you go in and tell them some of the things that you're interested in, hit next, and it'll finish it up. And every now and then it'll send you a little email of certain TED Talks that you might be interested in based on the interest you've shown. But this is good. And just in passing, here is one you should not miss. If you've never heard of Sir Ken Robinson, you need to go and listen to Ken. Ken, first of all, is entertaining. He's humorous, but he's also very, very, very profoundly interested in education and making education the way it should be for our students today. This particular TED Ed is about 19 minutes long. I think he overdid it just a little bit. But if you'll notice down here, it's been viewed almost 64 million times. I don't know if it's the most popular TED ever, but it is a great TED view. And do yourself a favor, watch it. It's great. You'll enjoy him too. And he has many more of them. And if you can't find them on TED, go to YouTube and type in Sir Ken Robinson, and you'll find a lot more of his talks, TED Ed talks. I know he's done many of them. Okay? Going from TED, after some time, TED developed a new site, a new tool for teachers called TED Ed. And these are, as it says up here, lessons built around a TED Ed animation, a TED Talk, or in most cases, a YouTube video. Okay, now I can't remember how many TED Eds are available, but the easiest thing to do is create an account. It's free. And then you can search for, you know what? I'm going to type in poetry. That sounds like something pretty. See if they can come back. Look at this. There is some poetry. April is going to be National Poetry Month. So we have some things about poetry. Okay. These are TED Ed's lessons made up by other teachers who are willing to share them with you. And you can take them, adapt them, make them your own, and we'll show you how you can present them to your students. Okay, let me just show you what this is. Let's take this one, for example. Here it is. TED Ed is made up of basically 4 steps. A watch, which is watch a video. A think, which is responding to some questions about the video. Now, this next one is somewhat optional, but dig deeper is other information you may wish to add about that particular topic. And then generally at the end, a discussion question where students can respond uh, at more length. Okay. And it's pretty easy. We don't have time to exactly watch the video right now, but let me just show you that when they get done, here are the questions. Now, you'll say, well, how can they answer online? Well, that could be, an issue if the students don't have accounts and so forth. But if nothing else, they can always, have a piece of paper and put their answers down there and turn them in that way, or on a Word document. But you'll see that these are the questions. Okay. And then there is a somewhat more developed response here required. And again, another one here. You'll see that there are 9, and that there it is. Okay. And you can say, it says you can save the answers if you want. Now, after the student, if you created one of these and put it up, the student could almost do this on his own or her own. Watch the video, do this. Then they could go on to the dig deeper. And this is some information that the creator of this put up. And you'll notice that there are some links here that will take the students to other places, and they can learn more and get, again, more depth to the topic about poetry. Here are some more, and they can either use this as a place for that kind of information. You can give them something to read again, and maybe read a poem, and then a discuss. And this one, let me click on this to get the whole, oh, there it is. This is the entire discussion question, okay? All right, and they have a few responses. Most of them are from teachers. Okay, this is a TED Ed, and if you like it, if you go to manage lessons, it's automatically put in, if you're logged in, to your your lessons. Okay, so now you can start the lesson, and then you can edit, and notice you can edit it, okay, if you want. All right, now you'll notice that this one here I created, oh my goodness, almost 2 years ago. This is when some teachers were doing, how shall I put it? They wanted to create school teacher websites, and the board wished them to deal with the American Disabilities Act. So this was a video that Roger and I created dealing with the American Disabilities Act. Judy Glasser was involved, and that the teachers were to watch this. Then there were a couple of questions. There was an article that they were asked to read. They were asked to do a quick discussion. And then finally, they sent this all to Judy, and she gave them opened their website again. But that's how easy it was. I'm sorry. I wanted to go to manage. That's how easy it is to do. And these people, students, teachers, whoever needs to do this, can do this on their own time, at their own speed. And that's what makes it so nice. So, how do you create one of these? Pretty simply. Okay, right here. Let's create a lesson real quickly, just to show you. Okay, the first thing it says, create a lesson. It begins with a great video. Okay, what I did was, I'm not so sure how great this is, but this is a video found in Aesop Fable, or well, I typed in Aesop's Fables and I got this one. Anyhow, it's Little Red Riding Hood. But we're going to use this to create a TED Ed. So I went over there. Oh, for your information, I copied that address. I'm going to paste it in here, and then I will search, and it says, oh, which one did you want? I want this one. Okay, that's it. So now I will continue. Get started. See, notice it put the video here. Now let's begin. Okay, now here I would introduce, this is a story about, I'm not going to type, you can type in whatever you want. By the way, notice that introduce your lesson in a few sentences. Don't try to erase that. You can't do it. It drives me nuts all the time. Okay, I'm just gonna, okay, and then save. Okay, now they've got that. Great work. Your draft is being saved each time you update a section. Okay, I'm going to close this. Now think. Now these would be the various questions that I would ask about the Little Red Riding Hood. Comprehension questions, thought questions. Do you think, whatever. Dig deeper if you wish to maybe have them look at a different story that has certain similarities. You could add some more information in here. I'm going to just hit save. And finally, you might want to discuss, okay? And then cancel that. And then finally, at the end, you may have some directions, after you finish reading the story, watching the story, doing the questions, and please, turn them in or however you wish to do it. And then it's, believe it or not, going to be, I'm just going to hit publish. I don't know why I'm doing this, but okay. I do not want to share my lessons. All right, notice here, you're going to probably want to don't require students to use TED Ed accounts, okay? Now, I don't want to share my lesson. I'm just going to close that. There it is here. It's already in my lessons, okay? My lessons right here. I can go in and share it if I want now. I can edit it. I can review student work if the students were to have accounts and then go in and answer that way. And I don't recommend that for the lower grades. Upper grades, again, I think you would probably want to get the permissions, correct permissions. Anyhow, that's how easy it is, and it works really, really, really simply. And it's a great little place. And again, just kind of wanted to give you a quick overview so that, if you're interested, go in there, create an account, search for some lessons, excuse me, and you might be able to find some that you can that you would like, and you can adapt them, you can share them. The reason this doesn't come up edit is because I have not viewed it yet. Okay, as soon as I view a little bit of it, it will allow me to edit that lesson. Okay, wow. So TED Ed, great place. Now, you've been so nice listening. I hope there's still a few people out there. What I thought, I have two little things at the end that we've talked about before. And this one kind of is cool. Have you ever had a picture, but you didn't want the background? You just wanted the picture? Okay. All right. This is a site that will remove the background from a picture. This is kind of cool. And, excuse me, its address is not that difficult to remember. It's called remove.bg, background. Okay, now let me just see if I can do it this way. I don't remember where I put that picture. It's here somewhere. Okay, what did I do with it? I had a picture. Oh, there it is right here. Okay, I have a picture. I'm just going to drag it in here. I mean, there's the picture. Notice all that background information? That's my grandkids and my grandkids. Notice that it is kind of cool that you removed that, and you can then download it right there. Okay, I don't want to do that. Let's just open it. See, I wonder if it'll open in Paint. There it is. The background's gone. Yeah, it's a cool website. Just thought I'd show it to you. You know, because people are always looking for them. How do I get rid of this? Now you could take a picture of, say France, the Eiffel Tower. Take this, put them in front of the Eiffel Tower, and you can put people in all kinds of great places that they've never been to. Another place, again, somebody asked about this, and they wanted to make posters, and they didn't know how to make posters. And this is probably the easiest place. We've mentioned this several times, but I hope that person is listening. It's called Block Posters. It's a cool place. You get started. It says upload your image. Okay. So I'm going to upload an image. I hope I have it. There it is. Notice one thing. It must be a JPEG. Okay. So I'm going to click on that. There's the JPEG. Now, right now, it's a pretty big poster. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets of paper. Now, if you want to make it smaller, you can. Now it's, oh, that's 4 pages wide. I don't want to do that. 2 pages wide. Now we have, well, it's still 4 sheets of paper, as you can see. I don't know if you can see the lines here, but that's pretty good. If you want, you can switch it to landscape. Okay. I don't know what A4, oh, that's the paper size. Yes. You can have a border or be borderless. I usually use the have a border simply because some printers need that little bit of a room around it. Also, yeah, it needs a little, when you're putting it together and taping it, it makes it a little easier to have that. You'll notice now this says this particular poster is 22 by 17, which is a pretty good size poster. Okay. You can crop it if you want. You can do a few other things to it. Now, notice this says remove the watermark. Okay. If you click on that, I think they're going to charge you. Okay. This is the one little bit of a drawback to this, but create my poster. Oh, I have read the terms of service. Okay. Now create my poster. Download your poster. And here it is here. And it comes down as a PDF that you can save. Notice it shows you how to put it together, what it looks like. And then notice as you print them, now you're going to have to put it together. And now this last one, you're going to notice their watermark. And it's not bad. But the nice thing about this is you can get a poster pretty darn quickly. You don't have to fool around with sizes and this and that and the other thing. Yeah, Catherine, I noticed your comment about that, much easier than Photoshop on I think that's the remove background. Yeah, that's a cool site. Anyhow, those 2 sites, I really like those very much for cool little tools. Lastly, I was asked this. Okay. Notice this is my email account. Okay. And Dave, yeah, we're still doing email, I guess. And these are our Lotus accounts. And what would like you to do is go to the inbox. Notice mine is 72 meg of 300 megabytes. Okay. If yours is more than that, we're going to ask you to remove some of these emails. There are probably hundreds of emails in there that you certainly do not need. For example, I mean, I can go from here down to here. I don't need those. I can highlight those, right click, and hit delete. Okay? Now, there are a lot more. And, you know, if you've got several years of emails in there, you may be getting up to the, you know, getting up toward the 300 mark, okay? You want to do that. There are two steps to this. You can go through and pick the ones you want. What I usually do is I go back to a certain day. I think these start with September 1st, and we'll go through the school year, and at the end of the school year I'll do the summer ones. You know, you may want to just highlight a whole bunch, and to highlight a whole bunch you can click on the top one, hold the shift key down, and then click on the bottom one, and that'll go from one end to other, so you don't have to click each one of them. Okay, click the top one, hold the shift key down, then the shift key down, click the bottom one, it'll remove those. Then all you got to do is delete them. Finally, that does not remove them from your email. In order to get some of this space back, you need to go to your trash. There they are, and empty the trash. Okay. Notice it says they're permanently removed. Very quickly, no, they're not. Your emails never go away. Okay? And over here on the right, I don't know if you've ever seen it, ever used it, is a thing called a mail meter. With this little device, you can retrieve any email that you have sent on Lotus Notes. So even if you've trashed them, they're still there. So this is kind of a good thing and a kind of a warning as well, okay? I don't have time tonight to show you how this works, but maybe next week we'll show you how to retrieve an email that you may have deleted accidentally, or if you deleted it for a couple of years ago. I remember a couple of years ago I wrote this email. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm seeing some things in the question box here, and I'm having trouble getting them. Mine always says over quota, 1 year teacher in district in 3. Oh. All right. I'll tell you what. If you would email me that, I'll take a look and see what I can do and get back to you. Okay. Because we are getting to the end here. Is there any way to get a bigger quota? No. I think you're talking about the 300 megabyte. No, there really is not right now. And as Dave, if you were with us at the beginning or prior to the beginning of the show, Dave was talking about the fact that we are slowly moving over to Outlook. And it's just taking time, and it is a massive, massive undertaking. And that should facilitate things and make things a lot easier. But as for right now, if your email account is 250 or above, you may want to consider deleting some of yours emails. And as I said before, you can retrieve them. We'll show you how to do that next week, and it's pretty It's pretty simple and it works pretty well. Okay. And again, I'm going to apologize because I don't really have the capability of reading these questions uh, that you've been sending in, but I want to thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully, you got a little bit of an idea. I uh, know that it would have been a whole lot better if Raj was with us, and he'll be with us next week, so hopefully you'll join us then. In 1 hour, you'll get the thank you with the survey, so please, again, do the survey. If you have any questions, concerns, either send them, put them in there. Don't hesitate to send us an email. You won't fill out my email, I assure you. Glad to get it. And with that, I'll say good night and have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next week.